in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, what I will be covering in this reaction video, I want to cover the fact that many people tend to think, even celebrities believe, that modern women, black women in particular, who have more than one baby daddy, has a mental illness, something wrong with them. So before I do that, hit the notification bell. Once you do that, select the option that says all. That way you'll be informed of all my new content. Can you dig it? And at the same time, like and subscribe. Now let me go and get in this thing here. I want y'all to check out what this woman says. Might blow your mind, Jack. All right, let's get it.
Women, and here's my theory, and I could be completely wrong, and the internet probably gonna destroy me for this, but I think women that have more than 2 baby daddies usually have some sort of mental illness.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, because you're getting genetically modified too much. I think, okay, so this is what I know. Every time you get pregnant, right, there's stem cells that come from that baby, and them stem cells end up behind your eyes and your brain and your heart and your lungs and stuff and help your organs heal while the baby taken from you. And those stem cells will always stay with you, right? So that means that man is always in you. And that is why, the Bible says you will only desire your husband, correct? This is why you got to use condoms, because...
Now, let me tell you something. She's not too far off from the truth, because I did a show a good year and a half ago providing statistical data and research that you can read and stuff, where it says that when a man orgasms inside a woman, it becomes a part of her brain tissue, her bone structure. If, for example, it also said this, if a woman performs orally, it gets behind the mucous membranes and stuff, and it stays attached to that woman for the rest of her life. It doesn't matter how many different men that she has slept with, doesn't matter how many husbands she went through or boyfriends she went through. Whenever a man releases himself inside of a woman, that man is always a permanent part of her. So considering that, this is why women have so many different mood swings, while women up and down, they're hot and cold. This is why women can't trust, and they can trust, and they can't trust, and they can trust, always going back and forth. It's like a tug of war when you're dealing with some of these women right now, because so many men have been inside of them. You can imprint a woman more than once, because we talk about women being imprinted by a man, like a Pookie or whatever, by this one guy. A woman can be imprinted in several ways by several different men. There's a man who did this for her that she liked or hurt her a certain way. That's a part of her history. She come across another man that she falls deeply in love with. He hurts her. Now he becomes a part of her history. So what you're dealing with most times, gentlemen, are women who have been through a cycle of different men. Women who have been dogged out by a whole lot of men that they chose. It's their fault. So these men all have left scars on them. A majority of these men have busted this all up in her. So all these crazy lunatic dudes are inside of her and are a part of her DNA. And you wonder why you can't have no peace with a woman when you meet her. She got too many demons going on in her, man. Let's keep going.
I only desire your husband. Correct. This is why you gotta use condoms, because that baby better get up inside you, and the uterus is very porous, much like the mouth, right? So when anything goes up in there, it automatically the uterus starts to absorb it. It starts going through the vaginal walls and all that, and the blood, it gets into the bloodstream, right? And so, it takes
get in there.
So it takes like 6 weeks to get a man out of your system if you have unprotected sex, and it's because he's starting to bind to your DNA, right? And that's why it's couples, when they be together too long, they start looking alike. You start looking like him. Wow. Like, it's not, the guy don't start looking like her. She start looking like him, because he is genetically modifying her. And every time you get pregnant by him, you start to get modified, right? So if
I don't know about all this other stuff you're talking about when you start looking like them. Now, I've seen couples like that where they do kind of favor, but I don't know what she's saying. I don't have no scientific proof about that. I haven't read nothing that covers that right there at all. And I also have not read or did any research to where I found or discovered that it takes 6 weeks for a woman to get a man out of. That's not what I came across. I wish I would have had that information or the statistical data I had about a year ago. But I'm going to tell you something. From what I read, that if I can find it, I'll try to do it on a different show. That DNA becomes a permanent part of a woman. It doesn't change her face and all this other shit, but it becomes a permanent part, a permanent fixture of her DNA once a man orgasms in a woman. If you don't believe me, do your own research. Look it up for yourself. I got no reason to lie over here. Check it out for yourself.
If you get pregnant by multiple peoples, right, that's multiple spirits, multiple thoughts, multiple modifications from different DNA strands to have mental stress. So, and it's very evident, like what I'm saying is very evident and makes sense because, like, you got all these dating apps, all these women, like, free sex, free this, whatever, you know, I'm doing, I'm living, I'm exerting my sexuality and all this, and I don't care if I got 5 kids or 5 baby daddies, whatever. Usually those bitches are mentally, they're struggling in so many different ways, not just.
That is true. Can any of you gentlemen, women too, tell me that you have never met a woman that have multiple, not just one. That's part of it too. But when you meet a woman that got 2 or 3 baby daddies, 2 or 3 different bastard kids, tell me that they're not struggling mentally. A lot of times these women have a hard time with emotional regulation. They have a hard time keeping their mouths closed. They have a hard time with being insecure, always jealous, loud, volatile, angry a lot of time. Overreactionary. There's something wrong, something broken within those particular women that have more than one baby daddy. Okay? They think the world is against them. And a lot of these women live in such a delusional mind. Have a delusional mindset that they feel entitled to everything on this planet. A lot of time it's with women who have multiple baby daddies, but also it's with women who are whores, who sleep with a whole lot of different men. If you run across a woman who actually took pride in herself, who practiced temperance and self-restraint and didn't sleep around with everybody, you tend to see a different type of personality in that type of woman. Yes, there are women like that. Now, the younger generation, we have the whole culture where it tells women to be whores, but there are still women out there who don't sleep around as much as other women. And you always can tell a difference between that woman who sleeps around a lot and the woman who does not, because they don't have all them damn men in them. They don't have all them men in them with different DNA and stuff scrambling their brains, man. Can you understand what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
Just financially, but also just like on where to focus. 5 kids or 5 baby daddies, whatever. Usually those bitches are mentally, they're struggling in so many different ways, not just financially, but also just like on where to focus, how to whatever, because you got too many different bloodlines in your blood.
Too many kids. I mean,
Think about the word bloodlines. Too many different bloodlines. In other words, this woman just said that one woman has too many legacies in her. Each bloodline is a legacy. It's Mr. Jones' legacy. That's Mr. Harris's legacy. That's Mr. What's a good name? Johnson legacy. You got 3 different generations in your womb. You got 3 different generations in your blood. You got 3 generations of men, at least, that is permanently bonded to your DNA. And for some of these women, it's more than that. It doesn't matter if you went to Planned Parenthood. Doesn't matter if you terminated that pregnancy. As long as that man was able to orgasm in you, he is still a part of you today. Think about that for a second. Let's keep going.
Yeah, you have mental illness. So that was my theory on sperm.
That makes sense.
That's very.
And that's why you can't
deep.
that's why you have to use condoms, ladies. That's why you have to use condoms. We cannot genetically modify men. Now
think about it. Condoms is one thing, but this also applies if the woman swallows. If she swallows, hell, it don't matter if you got a damn condom, does it? At that point in time. And even if she spit, best believe some of that went down her throat. I'm just being honest with you. Well, y'all let me know what y'all think about this one here. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all take it easy now here.